so would you agree that the most valuable asset in your business is not on your balance sheet? Would you all agree? Okay. So we can agree that that asset walks out of your door every single night with all the knowledge in their heads on how to run your business. What happens if that knowledge permanently walks out your door? And it's going to happen. I was sitting in a meeting with a client, and he made a statement. The successes of most jobs are in the minds of the employee performing the job. That's a very alarming statement if you think about it. Let's talk about it from the employee point of view first. They have a wealth of knowledge in their heads. Every one of you, either in your companies or at your clients, have the same issues because you know that there is that one person who, if they walk out the door, is going to hurt that company. The disruption to the workflow is going to be huge. They are responsible for the most critical tasks in the business and the success of those tasks. That same employee holds the key to the transfer of knowledge, taking the knowledge out of their heads and either giving it to a new employee or cross-training. So let's talk about some of the knowledge drains that you should be aware of. There are permanent and long-term knowledge drains, and there are temporary knowledge drains. The knowledge drain is going to be one of the biggest business disruptions that you're going to see over the next several years unless companies prepare for it now. It will hurt the stability and continuity of a process. If you could retain the employee's knowledge, and if you could retain that historical data, if you can retain the contacts that these people have, if you can find out that know-how, drill it down to how they use those workaround solutions, and get down to the minutia, the little things that make that job successful. Remember earlier we talked about the success of every job is in the mind of the employee. Well, all of this is sitting right in their mind. 3 years ago, this was written. In order to prevent the loss of knowledge, managers must identify the knowledge at risk, develop a knowledge management program to gather, store, and disseminate data, and improve the company's career and succession plan. So what are continuity tools? Organization charts. The second one is job descriptions, workflow, process, charts, and analysis. Those first 3 documents are your key to success in documenting all of your tasks that you realize need to be documented. A job description is a bulleted format usually. It shows a position purpose, it shows responsibilities, duties, functions, tasks of the employee. For anyone who does not know, a task is a unit of work. It could be payroll, bookkeeping, it could be accounts payable, it could be filing, answering the phones. That's a unit of work. Documentation includes operational procedures and tasks. It will possibly take the step by step, it'll take the how-to, it may have screenshots, it may have quick tips, best practices, and there's that word, tribal knowledge. Okay, so let's talk about starting the process because I want to give you just a quick idea and what the workflow of something that you could do internally actually, or a client can do internally. The first thing is create those 3 documents. From those documents, assess the tasks at risk and identify the employees with the knowledge that could be at risk. Then gather the information, the files, the forms, the step-by-step information. Draft the documents. You can actually have the employees help. In summary, you know what? This project is not a budgeted item. Knowledge transfer isn't a budgeted item. But the added value and the protection on multiple levels it gives an organization is huge. It will help to avoid business disruption.
Gail, your last slide touched on that this is an investment, not necessarily a budgeted line item.
Correct.
But there's added value. Businesses are absolutely making decisions based on a cost-benefit relationship. Not being prepared. Have you come up with any stats as to what the real cost is of having to bring on board a new employee?
You know, it's a great question. There is a form that I actually have called a cost of turnover form, and it basically shows you the cost of recruiting somebody, the cost of getting them on board, the cost of training them. And remember, it's not just one person that you're bringing on. The cost involved is so across the board, because you've got a marketing person or a human resource person putting an ad on Google or Career Builder or in the newspaper. Now you've got all of that time being spent to interview, to find the right person. Now you find 3 of the right people, and now you have to give them to the manager. So if you take the cost per hour for each person who has to touch that individual prior to them even getting on board.
Cost statistics have shown that it's almost 175 to 200% of a salary by the time you go through the whole process.
I would think that that's a conversation when you have a reluctant business owner
Right.
that views this purely as a cost.
Right.
That there really would be real dollars in terms of return.
It's a very inexpensive added value when you think of the benefits and the cost to adding a new person. Mike, when you went on vacation last time and you came back, did you see that pile that was on your desk?
It was a big time.
Did it stress you out immediately?
Big time.
All right, so let me ask you a question. If we could take 1 or 2 of those tasks off your desk while you were on vacation, would it help you? Thank you for viewing our excerpt from our presentation. For more information about the presentation or unique business solutions, please contact us at 516-935-5641 or visit our website at www.ubsassociates.com. Thank you again for viewing our presentation.